boys and girls, welcome to Fenway Park.
Wednesday at Fenway, Baltimore rained on the Red Sox parade, postponing the wild card for one more day. For the final home game of the regular season, Derek Lowe takes his 16 wins and 10-2 record at Fenway out to beat the Birds and spark a wild celebration. Live from Fenway Park, NESN presents Boston Red Sox baseball. Tonight, the Red Sox take on the Baltimore Orioles. Hi, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, as always, joined by Jerry Remy. Again, the Red Sox have a chance to clinch tonight.
And they certainly love to do it right here at Fenway Park, Don. You know, they played great baseball at Fenway all season long. The fans have been so supportive, and I think this club would like to finish the thing off in front of the fans here in Boston. The pitching matchup seems to favor the Red Sox tonight. Derek Lowe going in this game, and he's been awfully tough all season long here at Fenway Park.
They'll be matched up against Omar Dahl, and it's next on NESN. Back at Fenway as we head to the last half of the first inning. The Orioles going quickly and quietly in the top of the first inning. And here's Johnny Damon to lead it off in the bottom of the first against Omar Dahl.
Omar Dahl has spent a lot of this season on the Sabre list with a rotator cuff problem, actually from July 3rd until September 10th.
Off the glove of Dahl, out towards Brian Roberts at shortstop. Still tries it and can't get Damon. And Johnny Damon's aboard to begin things here in the bottom of the first inning.
Dahl cannot make the play. Once it deflects off his glove, that slows it up, and by the time Roberts can get the ball and get it to first base, Johnny Damon with too much speed. Probably Dahl might have been better off letting that ball go through, and then Roberts would have had a much better chance. Just normal reaction by a pitcher to reach out and try to snag that ground ball up the middle.
The 20th infield hit for Johnny Damon. And he's at first to begin things here in the bottom of the first inning. There is Bill Miller batting second in the Red Sox order tonight. And Miller sends it into left field for a base hit. Damon touching second, heading for third. Miller thinking too as Bigby in the corner digs it out. But Bill Miller stands at second. Damon at third. Nobody out in the bottom of the first inning.
Now Bill Miller starting the game at 324, 1 point ahead of Manny and also Ordonez. Only one for his last 15, but he doesn't wait around very long. Right down to that left field corner, and that quickly the Red Sox have runners at second and third. Omar Dahl, as I mentioned, onto the Sabre list most of the season. He's faced the Red Sox twice, once with the Dodgers and once with the Phillies, and he pitched great baseball against the Red Sox in those two outings. But a different guy now, certainly after the arm problems.
Well, the Orioles in the offseason very excited about him coming to Baltimore, but he is 4-10 coming into tonight's action. The Red Sox lineup back to what we are sort of used to here over the course of the summer. Nomar Garciaparra batting third again tonight, with Todd Walker out of the starting lineup tonight, and Damian Jackson getting the start at second base with Omar Dahl, the left-hander, on the mound. Omar chops it towards the shortstop. Ryan Roberts has one play. It's at first, and in from third comes Johnny Damon. The Red Sox grab the lead on top 1-0. Let's take a look at the rest of the Red Sox starting lineup, brought to you by Dodge. Manny Ramirez in the cleanup spot in left field. David Ortiz, the DH. Kevin Millar at first base. Jason Varitek doing the catching with Gabe Kapler in right field. And Damian Jackson batting 9th at second base. So one down. Bill Miller's still in scoring position as he stands at second base. And here's Manny Ramirez. Last night, to begin the night, Manny Ramirez and Bill Miller were tied atop the American League in batting average. And he's 323, has him tied now for second with Maglio Ordonez of the Chicago White Sox to begin the night. And with Bill Miller's hit, he is up to 326 now. To right, falling fast. It'll fall in for a hit. Miller had to wait. He will reach third and no further as Jay Gibbons gets it back in quickly. Miller had to wait. He was stopped about halfway between second and third, and then moved along once it dropped in.
Yeah, a little deke out there by Jay Gibbons. He put the glove up like he was going to make a catch on this ball, and that kind of froze Bill Miller between first and second. Here's the deke, the glove put up, no chance to get it. Miller goes to third base, but has to be stopped there. Omar Dahl, they're not going to see anything overpowering. His fastball will be in the mid-80s to high 80s. Throws a lot of change-ups, and of course the breaking ball.
Here's David Ortiz, Red Sox DH, batting fifth tonight. With Bill Miller at third base, Manny Ramirez at first. And he chops it foul into the Red Sox dugout on the first base side. Last night, 2 home runs, as there are many calling for his name as the MVP. And certainly nationally, his name is now being mentioned for perhaps the first time all season long with his latest production. Ortiz sends it towards the shortstop. Roberts flips to second for one, on to first. Wild throw and a run in. Bill Miller scoring from third. The Red Sox lead it 2-0.
Well, it was a nice effort by the middle infielders of the Baltimore Orioles, but not quite able to turn that double play. There's Roberts going. He has to give that sidearm flip to Hairston, who has back towards first base, throws off balance, and it's going to be off the mark. Ortiz beats it. The Red Sox have the 2-0 lead.
So 2 runs in. David Ortiz at first base, and here's Kevin Millar. Millar was 0 for 4 last night, and it snapped a 7-game hitting streak. Last night, his 32nd birthday, and was unable to get a base hit last night. During the streak, he had hit at .360, 9 for 25. Millar sends it down the right field line. That'll get back into the seats beyond Canvas Alley down the right field line.
Well, you got to wonder, Don, if the folks who way back when bought tickets to this game to see the Red Sox Orioles in the last game of the season at Fenway, whether they figured they'd be watching a possible clinching game for a playoff spot.
Well, they are tonight, and I'm sure they were in some ways hoping, if you had tickets for tonight, that maybe they didn't clinch last night. The Red Sox are unable to, as the Orioles jumped out on top very early on John Burkett. On the ground to third base, Batista will go to second, and they get the out there to end the inning, but the Red Sox get the night off. Started off great, on top 2-0 at the end of 1. Back at Fenway as we head to the last half of the second inning. Red Sox on top 2-0 as they came up with 3 hits and 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning. Jason Varitek, Gabe Kapler, and Damian Jackson to face Omar Dahl. Varitek jolts one to center field. Matos going back, still going, looking up. It's gone! Solo home run for Jason Varitek to begin the second. The Red Sox lead it 3-0.
Varitek now with 25 home runs on the season, 10 from the right side of the plate. Straightaway center field against Omar Dahl, and the Red Sox have the 3-0 lead. Good job of hitting there by Varitek. The guy does not throw that hard, try to stay back as long as possible.
Kapler dropping a bunt down foul down the third base line. Home run number 25 of the season for Jason Varitek. one inside and evens up at 1-1.
Take a look at Jason Varitek's home run shot as a right-handed hitter. 8 to left field, 2 to center field, nothing the other way. 25, as we mentioned, total on the season. 15 as a left-handed hitter. I guess they could figure that out, though, Don, if they did the math.
So 1 to Kapler, missing away, and it's now 3-1 to Kapler. Kapler getting the start. Trot Nixon off again tonight. That calf muscle has popped up again for Trot Nixon, and needs a few more days before we may see Trot again. 3-1 line down the left field line. A fair ball headed for the corner. Kapler thinking too as Bigby digs it out. Kapler stands at second base.
Well, so far this has been like batting practice for the Red Sox against Omar Dahl. I mean, he's not fooling anybody right now. Kapler again, a hard line drive right down that third base line over the head of Batista all the way down in the corner. So a home run and a double here in the bottom of the second.
Damian Jackson standing in, the number 9 hitter, getting the start at second base tonight with the left-hander out there. Jackson taking strike 1. 5-game hitting streak for Damian Jackson. 5 for his last 18. And over his last 11 games, he's hit at .324 for the Red Sox. And there for a strike, and Jackson quickly down 0-2.
Jackson has seen more and more playing time as we get closer to the end of the season, going at second base against a number of left-handers recently, and also going in late defensively as a defensive replacement at second.
Seems like about the halfway mark of the season, things started to pick up for Damian Jackson as far as playing time. Largely before that, used as a pinch runner, late game defensive replacement. As the opposite way foul down the right field line, it's still 0-2 to Damian Jackson.
Now Jackson still trying to get the job done there by moving the ball to the opposite field. 0-2 breaking ball away, but fouls it off.
Damian Jackson has played every position but pitcher and catcher this season. And he grounds it down the third base line. A fair ball. It'll kick off the boxes. Kapler's going to try and score, and he will. To second base goes Jackson safely, and the Red Sox lead it 4-0.
Well, the Red Sox tonight coming out very quickly, trying to do what the Orioles did last night. The Orioles put the game away early with 7 runs in the first inning. Red Sox already have 4 now as they're into the second inning. Past the dive of Batista, no fan interference. The ball bounces out to shallow left field, and Gabe Kapler comes across with the 4th run. Damian Jackson with that great speed. Kind of an awkward head for a slider. He almost had that left hand trailing a little too much.
Came up a little short there out of the gate as Johnny Damon stands in, second time tonight. Damon reaching on an infield hit in the first inning, came around to score the Red Sox first run of the night. Dahl behind 2-0. Johnny Damon becoming the first Red Sox player in 89 years to record back-to-back 30 stolen base seasons last night, as he was able to get his 30th of the year, and he's the 3rd player in club history to do so. Mr. Speaker was able to do it 3 straight seasons from 1912 through 1914. And if Damon can get a stolen base tonight, he would equal the total that he had last season. To center field, Matos coming in, and it looked like it hopped. No, he's able to make the catch. Looked like he may have trapped it at first, but he comes up with it. For out number 1, and Damon is out. Nice play by Luis Matos.
Luis Matos has played great baseball this year against the Red Sox. Offensively, he's made some terrific plays out in center field. The latest as he goes into the dive and right into the webbing of that glove to take a base hit away from Johnny Damon.
There's been a couple of those in this series. A little dive head first. One the other night, and a nice catch here to take one away from Damon.
Yeah, the last time he had to dive like that, the grass was a lot wetter than it is right now. It was after that rainstorm.
Here's Bill Miller taking ball 1. Over the last 4 games, Bill Miller 1 for 15. But has a hit tonight, and that batting average up to .326. A pickoff play at second base, but Jackson able to get back on the bag.
Guys with speed get a lot of attention with 1 out because that's generally when they like to try to steal third base. Try to get to third with less than 2 outs, and you can score on a ground ball, sacrifice fly.
There for a strike over the inside corner. 1-1 now to Bill Miller. Facing Omar Dahl, who's 31 years of age, from Venezuela. Dahl in his first season with the Baltimore Orioles. Last year with the LA Dodgers, he won 11 games. It was 11-9 with Philadelphia, Arizona, Toronto, Montreal. And he first reached the big leagues in 1993 with the Dodgers, so 2 different stints with the Dodgers. And the most wins he's had in any season, 1999 with the Arizona Diamondbacks. He won 16 games, was 16-9 that season in 32 starts. This will hit Bill Miller. He'll trot on down to first base, a hit batsman with still just 1 out in the inning. Boston Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by your New England Toyota dealers, by Bob Stores, by Coors Light, and by Volvo, the official vehicle of the Red Sox. So still just 1 out in the inning as Fordyce joined by Tony Batista to talk to Omar Dahl on the mound.
Take a quick look at the Oriole defense. A little late tonight, but Tony Batista at third base, Brian Roberts the shortstop, Jerry Hairston at second, and B.J. Surhoff at first. Big B, Matos, and Gibbons in the outfield. Fordyce doing the catching. That is brought to you by your Boston area Lexus dealers.
Garciaparra fouling the first one off the right side. Nomar grounded out to shortstop his first time up. And you see his numbers here at Fenway Park. The best in the American League. Bill Miller in the top 4 as well. Damian Jackson at second, Bill Miller at first. Omar takes the 1-1 for ball 2. Over the last 5 games, Garciaparra won for his last 19, and that includes tonight. September has not treated him well. Garciaparra hitting at 167 in September, which has dropped the batting average to its lowest point since May 21st.
Now they had a pickoff play on that time. They had Jerry Hairston, the second baseman, standing on the second base bag, but Dahl didn't see him. He just threw the pitch home. There was a wide open hole over there on the right side.
There goes Jackson for third. Nomar takes a strike, and the throw down not in time. Jackson steals third base.
Well, again, that's a case of Jackson going on his own. There was no double steal put on by Cubbage because Miller is still at first base. This is a case where you really have to look at the guy in front of you, make sure if he takes off, you take off. Miller did not see that, and he just stayed at first.
Runners at the corners. A full count now to Garciaparra. There goes Miller. Garciaparra hits it deep and far to left field. Looking up, it's gone. A 3-run home run for Garciaparra as the Red Sox on top 7-0.
27th home run of the season. Nomar Rory with 4 runs batted in this game to give him a total of 104 in the season. And the Red Sox quickly want to put the lights out in this game tonight. Garciaparra now with 27 home runs, 20 of them to left field, 6 to center field, 1 to the opposite field.
Omar Garciaparra had been 1 for his last 19 prior to the 3-run home run. But as the Red Sox on top 7-0. Still just 1 out in the inning, and here's Manny Ramirez as the Orioles have action in their bullpen.
Just starting out in their bullpen, too.
Omar Dahl has had to throw 37 pitches through an inning and a third tonight. The long relief man, Sean Douglas, who we have seen this season, right-handed pitcher. And he pops it up down the right field line. Over comes Gibbons. And he'll make the catch. For out number 2, Ramirez retired. There's 2 down here in the second inning.
Hasn't exactly been singles in this game either. Miller with a double, Kapler with a double, Jackson with a double, and of course the 2 home runs, Veritek and Garciaparra.
The Red Sox have been all business so far here tonight on top 7-0. Still batting in the second inning, David Ortiz. Inside, 2-0 now to Ortiz. Grounded out in the first inning. Good credit for an RBI. Now has 101 on the season for the Red Sox DH. And down the right field line, foul, backing out of play, and it's 2-1. Well, David Ortiz, of course, Tuesday with the game-winning home run. In the 10th inning, they won it for the Red Sox 6-5. The 2-1 is in there for a strike, and it's 2-2. And last night he continued his home run ways with a pair of home runs. He's in right field for one and left field for the other. His 30th and 31st home runs of the season. Of Ortiz, who was able to get out of the way of it.
Omar Dahl turning his back to the hitter a little bit like Louis Tiant, except this time from the left side, and that fastball way inside on David Ortiz.
Ortiz, the 8th member of the Red Sox to bat here in the second inning. Dahl has given up 7 runs on 7 hits so far. He's also hit a batter. And an in ball 40 walks Ortiz. Here's the first walk given up by Omar Dahl. Mark Wiley, the pitching coach, on the phone, saying if Sean Douglas is ready, he gets the nod that he is. And here comes Mike Hargrove. And he will make the move. Omar Dahl has had a very tough outing to begin tonight. The Red Sox have enjoyed it, leading 7-0 from Fenway Park. The Red Sox still batting here in the bottom half of the second inning as the Orioles will make a pitching change here. We'll step away and come back with more. Last half of the third inning back at Fenway Park. Red Sox on top 7-0. And it's on to the bottom half of the third. Jason Varitek leads it off for the Red Sox. Gabe Kapler. And then Damian Jackson expected in the inning. The line on Omar Dahl tonight. He went an inning in 2/3, giving up 7 hits, 7 runs. He walked one. He did not strike anybody out. And he's on the hook coming into this game with a record of 4-10. Jason Varitek, his first time up, hitting home run number 25 of the season to straightaway center field. And at the time gave the Red Sox a 3-0 lead. Now he sends one down the right field line, bending foul.
Varitek probably took batting practice from the right side of the plate tonight with the left-hander starting in the game. Well, only one at bat, right-handed, and now switches around to the left side.
On the ground, Brian Roberts on to Surhoff for the first out of the inning. Boston Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by Lincoln Mercury, by LoJack, by Aflac, by Citizens Bank, and by Jeep. One out here in the inning. Here's Gabe Kapler, who doubled. He's able to come around and score. Now the double by Damian Jackson, and he's got great numbers. Been able to start a lot more. Really started with the injury to Trot Nixon, getting Kapler back in there. And they've seen a lot more time in right field more regularly for the Red Sox. Into center field, out of the reach of the diving Jerry Hairston. And Kapler's 2 for 2.
Now, one thing the Red Sox would like to do, Don, is be able to get Nixon healthy and maybe get him a few at-bats before they hit the end of the season. You know, that he'll be off until Wednesday when they open up the playoffs against Oakland. So Nixon will be out maybe a week. So they hope to get him back in there sometime over the weekend, at least to get some at-bats and try to keep his timing.
Damian Jackson batting for the second time tonight, doubled his first time up. Now, if the Red Sox do clinch tonight and right now on top 7-0 as they bat in the third inning, I imagine that some of the everyday guys will be seeing some time off over the weekend.
Yeah, there'll be that balance between giving them time off, and I would imagine tomorrow would be one of those nights that they get quite a few guys out of there. But yet, on the other hand, you have to play some because you don't want to go a long time without facing live pitching.
Hairston at second base to second for one. The throw to first is not in time. Too much speed from Jackson down the line. They do get Kapler at second base for out number 2.
Good job by Jerry Hairston as he quickly gets that ball to his shortstop Roberts. But as you mentioned, Don, just too much speed from Damian Jackson coming out of that right-handed batter's box. And Brian Roberts, he's been all over the place in this series. Shortstop, second base.
There's Johnny Damon. Was robbed of a base hit last time up. A sinking line drive to center field, and Luis Matos came on and made a great catch. Reached on an infield hit in the first inning. Left side, diving is Batista, but he can do nothing with it. Damon aboard for the second time tonight with yet another infield hit.
Nice effort by Tony Batista at third base, but nowhere to go. Once he went into the dive and made the catch, he's on the ground, and he has no play at second, and certainly not going to get Damon at first base. Only 9 hits in the ball game for the Red Sox, only in the bottom of the third.
There's Bill Miller. He's been on base twice tonight. A double in the first, was hit by a pitch in the second inning. He changed his mind in the middle there and did not offer. Miller now batting from the left side with the right-hander in there after Omar Dahl, the left-hander, started the game. And the strike, 1-1. Seattle Mariners are off tonight, and with the Red Sox able to win, they will have been eliminated from the playoffs. They struggled up against the Anaheim Angels, and if you look back at the course of this season, not a lot was made of the Red Sox sweeping the Seattle Mariners earlier this season here at Fenway Park in a 4-game series. But boy, is that the difference now here at the end of the year, and how closely this thing came to an end if the Red Sox do indeed clinch tonight.
Show you the value of the infield hits for Johnny Damon, 21. Without those 21 infield hits, Johnny Damon's hitting .239 instead of .274.
I think Johnny realizes the value of those infield hits.
Great to have some speed.
Jackson at second, Damon at first. 2 down here in the Boston third inning. Red Sox on top 7-0. Miller lines it towards left center field. That's going to get down. Damian Jackson will score. Johnny Damon's going to try and score. The throw from left center is not coming, and the Red Sox have 2 more to lead it 9-0. And the hits just keep coming.
Well, Bill Miller now with 2 doubles in this game tonight gives him 45 on the season. That ties him for 4th place in the American League. The leader is Vernon Wells with 48. So Miller, who has been struggling recently, gets a couple of knocks already in this game, drives in a couple of more runs, and it seems kind of fitting, Don, that on a game that could be the clincher, the Red Sox score a lot of runs. It's been the best offense in the American League all season long.
And that batting average for Bill Miller up to .327 with that hit. Garciaparra with a 3-run home run his last time up. Sends it fouled off the right side. He's down 0-2. Red Sox have scored in every inning so far tonight. 2 in the first, 5 in the second, and 2 so far here in the bottom of the third inning. Sox coming in with a batting average of .288 collectively as a club. To lead all of Major League Baseball in that category, the Atlanta Braves leading the National League at .283. Omar sends one to right field. Jake Gibbons moving in. And he's able to make the catch for the final out of the inning. But the Red Sox add 2 more to their total. We've played 3, 9-0 Boston. It's on to the bottom half of the 4th inning back at Fenway. It's been all Boston tonight, 9-0. Red Sox with 10 hits so far as they come to bat here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Manny Ramirez, David Ortiz, and Kevin Millar expected against Sean Douglas. And Manny charges this one to left field. That will grab the wall. A ricochet handed by Bigby, and a very wide turn for Manny, but he retreats to the bag at first. A long leadoff single for Manny Ramirez.
Well, Manny Ramirez now with 2 hits in the ball game. Bill Miller has 2 hits in the ball game. 2 guys battling for the batting title. That ball hit so hard that by the time he gets back to Bigby, Manny has to put the brakes on and keep it to a single.
Ramirez at first base to begin the inning. His batting average up to .324 with his second hit of the night tonight. David Ortiz. Big swing and a miss. Backswing. Got a piece of Brooke Fordyce.
I think Brooke Fordyce got nailed last night too by a backswing by Manny Ramirez.
Some suggestions from the monster seats for David Ortiz, who's already got 31 home runs this season, but they seem to be coming in clusters right now. And it is 2-1 now to David Ortiz. Since Douglas has come on, he's had to throw 27 pitches. He relieved Omar Dahl in the second inning, as Dahl was charged with 7 runs in an inning and 2/3. Since Douglas has come on, he's been touched for 2 additional runs. And Ortiz ahead, 3-1. Sean Douglas, 6'6", 218 pounds, from Lancaster, California, an Orioles second-round pick in 1997. Ortiz looked like he punched at it, and he did. And a full count now to David.
Ortiz completely fooled on the breaking ball on the 3-1 count. He's thinking fastball all the way. Instead, he gets that breaking ball, can't check the swing.
Ramirez with a very short lead at first. Surhoff does not hold him on as he plays in behind him. Ball 4 to Ortiz. So the first 2 have reached here for the Red Sox in the bottom of the 4th inning. It's time now for the answer to our Aflac trivia question tonight. The question is, name the last 3 Red Sox managers with consecutive 90-win seasons. Grady Little, Jimmy Williams, and Don Zimmer. As Grady's total the same each of his first 2 seasons heading into tonight, 93 wins. But tonight would be his 94th. As the Red Sox try to obtain their 53rd win at home. The Red Sox coming in at 52-28 here at Fenway Park.
Well, last year 93 wins, not good enough to get into postseason play. 94 this year will do it for the Red Sox.
This would be the 7th time the Red Sox have reached the postseason in the last 18 seasons, beginning in 1986. Millar hits one deep and far back into the Boston ninth. A 3-run home run for Kevin Millar, his 24th of the year, and the Red Sox lead it 12-0.
Career year for Kevin Millar with the home runs, the runs batted in, 24 homers now, and with the 3 here, 95 runs batted in the season. Well, I guess the Red Sox couldn't wait to get back to the ballpark today after yesterday. My goodness.
Now, Theo has to be breathing a little bit easier, as is Red Sox Nation right now, with the Red Sox on top 12-0. An impressive offensive attack. Seems like we've seen that a lot this season, and we're saying it again tonight. The Red Sox offense has woken up here in a big way tonight. Omar Garcia-Parra with a 3-run home run. Jason Varitek with a solo shot, and Miller with a 3-run home run. The major league record for the Red Sox in extra base hits. Leading the league in many categories in the major leagues in many offensive categories this season. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th inning as the Red Sox continue their pattern of scoring in every inning.
Yeah, they're not just getting one either in every inning.
2 in the first, 5 in the second, 2 in the third, and 3 so far here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
You might get in this game done before it's over. It keeps going this way. Check out that swing of yours.
My Dwight Evans stance. My 260 career average.
Red Sox can tack on 30 more runs. We may see your act here tonight.
Varitek fouls it off. And it evens up at 2-2. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Hit a solo home run to center field in the 2nd inning. At the time, put the Red Sox on top 3-0. It was some 9 runs ago. Grounded right side of the first baseman, Surhoff. He'll take it alone for the inning's first out.
While there's a break in the scoring, Don, I want more birthday wishes. This to Kathy O'Rourke, celebrating her birthday today. She is one of the board of directors of the RemyReport.com. There are only 4 members there, and she has a big say in everything. So happy birthday, Kathy.
She has worked many tireless hours on off days, am I correct?
Pick, pack, and ship.
Which is she, the pack or the ship?
Actually, she's the one that bosses us all around. She tells us what to pick, pack, and ship.
And Kapler standing in, taking strike 1, 1-1. Kapler's 2 for 2 tonight. A double in the second, a single in the third. Sox have won 15 of the last 22 games. And with a win tonight, the Red Sox will have won 7 of their last 8 series. At the right time here at the tail end of the year. In the dirt, a full count now to Gabe Kapler. Now, Grady Little is going to have a lot of interesting decisions to make, and everybody talking about what decisions he'll make in the bullpen. Kapler takes the walk, second walk of the inning.
Well, I think a lot of those decisions have probably already been made. They have not made it any public. Everybody's been very hush-hush until, they're able to clinch this thing. And starting tomorrow down in Tampa Bay is when we'll start to get, I think, quite a few of the answers of what's going to happen in that first round of the playoffs.
I know you were asked in the pregame, and unfortunately I did not hear your answer. I'm sorry, embarrassed to admit. But I think you were asked about Bronson Arroyo, whether or not he's made a big enough impact in the eyes of Grady Little to make the team for the postseason.
I don't know about Grady Little, but certainly in my eyes, I mean, it's hard to tell what they're going to do, Don. But here's a guy that has not done anything wrong. He hung one breaking ball here a couple of games ago, came back yesterday, pitched those 4 innings of shutout baseball, did not allow a hit. He makes right-handed hitters look awfully bad on his breaking ball. It's interesting. I mean, to see what they're going to do if they feel like he could be an integral part of that bullpen in postseason. There have been cases in the past where guys have been lightning in the bottle, and of course remember last year in the World Series with K-Rod.
And he has more experience than K-Rod had coming into this situation with the Pittsburgh Pirates.
That's right. Yeah, we think of him as, some guy that they just called up from the minor leagues who has no major league experience. That's not the case.
No. There was a guy that I thought was ticketed to make this team out of the gate in spring training, but was one of the last cuts and put in a terrific season with the Pawtucket Red Sox, including a perfect game. Jackson gets the bad news from Mike Winters that it was a strike. He thought he had ball 4. Jackson takes strike 3, and there's 2 down in the inning.
Also has some special guests here in the booth tonight. Jim and Jan Peterson. They are winners in the Remy.com contest where they buy a scorecard and then they are chosen, and they had dinner over at Chow Bella at 5 o'clock and get to enjoy the game here in the booth. So
are they randomly chosen? How does that work exactly?
Yes. It's the 3rd group we've had in, and they bought scorecards in August, September. And as coincidence may have it, the game we picked is the game that the Red Sox could clinch.
The winners have had quite a few good games. I remember they were in for a Yankee series last time.
Yeah.
And they're kind enough to bring us desserts from Chow Bella also, which is always a good thing. I'm bringing the benefits here of...
We're looking for a long break between innings so we can kill that dessert.
Lehman sends it foul off the left side, and he's down 1-2. Well, you mentioned the rotation for the Oakland A's, and you get the feeling the Red Sox may have to play some small ball at times. I guess you probably have to anyway in a playoff type setup, and that would lead you to believe the Red Sox need to make some decisions as far as small ball goes with their position players as well. And that will also be interesting. Always seems somebody gets left off that you may not have expected at times. Those decisions to follow if the Red Sox can clinch here tonight, and again right now on top 12-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Red Sox after the game will travel to St. Petersburg, Florida tonight. Kapler taking off 3-2 with 2 outs in the inning. Damon set one up to the luxury box.
Yeah, it only took, what, 80 games to finally get a good play in the luxury box.
Again, the payoff pitch. Damon fouls it off again. I also heard as part of the pregame you answering the question about whether or not our hotel in Tampa Bay is haunted.
Yeah, what is this all about?
Apparently some players have seen some people show up in their rooms that were uninvited. I have never seen that in my 3+ seasons going to Tampa Bay. I believe this is one of the gentlemen who have seen things pop up in their rooms.
I actually wouldn't mind there be somebody to talk to.
Johnny Damon strikes out to end things in the 4th, but the Red Sox lead it 12-0. 5th inning, and B.J. Surhoff leads it off. One of 3 walks given up tonight by Derek Lowe through the first 4 innings as Surhoff walked back in the 2nd inning. Jerry, this is likely, well, this is our last home, likely. There's no likely about it. It's our last home game of the season for us. And we would certainly like to send our thanks along to the crew here who does a great job and have done another marvelous job here at Fenway Park this season. From all of our cameramen to our audio men to the tape guys, everybody in the truck.
Yeah, great guys, you know, and they work very hard. They have long, long days. They were here today at 10 o'clock this morning getting set up for this game tonight. They all do a terrific job, and they're a pleasure to be around.
You know, you always, this part of the season, as easy as far as weather-wise, but early on, April and May, those conditions can be on the ugly side. Those guys are out there for the entire game. Some very long games. A lot of runs scored this season. And they have certainly put their time in this year, and we are very thankful for everything that they do. I was dropping by the booth before the game, and we appreciate their efforts.
It's always a comfort level when you know what you're going to get every single night, and that's excellent here at Fenway Park.
One hopper to second. Jackson on the first. And there's one away. There's a few more folks that we'd like to get on for you here as well.
Number 32.
We also would like to send our thanks to Pete Grenier, who you cannot see, who is our audio guy, which hears from you and I probably the most.
Probably you more than
Especially
I.
you.
Huh?
Especially you. No, actually, you're very easy. You just want everything cranked.
As loud as you can go.
This one is softly rolled down the third baseline. It'll roll, and that will be the first hit of the night for the Baltimore Orioles. As weakly as it was hit, Derek Lowe going 4 1/3 into the 5th inning without giving up a hit, and the crowd will salute him for his efforts here tonight as the Orioles have their first hit of the game.
You know, it's interesting, in the crowd giving Lowe an ovation. I wouldn't really pay much attention to that. If you're watching all these runs score, I looked up between and say, wait a minute, they don't have a hit yet. Is that possible tonight? A little dribble down that third base line by Matos, the first hit for the Orioles. All the focus has been on the Red Sox offense, and here is the first base hit of the night for the Baltimore Orioles.
And Jack Cust into center field. This more of a definitive hit. And Johnny Damon plays it on a hop. The Orioles, with one down, have 2 on.
The catcher, number 26.
Now let's take a look at the game summary in this one. Omar Dahl chased after an inning in 2/3, giving up 7 runs to the Red Sox. Derek Lowe has just given up his first 2 hits of the game. Garcia Parra with a 3-run shot. Millar with a 3-run home run. And Bill Miller's got a couple of hits, 2 doubles, and 2 RBIs in this one. Orioles batting in the top half of the 5th inning. Red Sox on top 12-0.
And of course, if the Red Sox win this ball game, stay with us after the game. Tom Caron will be doing some on the field reporting, and also from the Red Sox clubhouse. To go along with our post-game show. And by the way, the post-game show for Red Sox fans will be on during the playoffs. So when you finish watching the ball game, just switch over to Nesson and you'll get the complete post-game show.
No one in there for strike 2. Bob Tomaselli down there beyond the Red Sox dugout. Another outstanding job.
One of the great pleasures about Bob is everybody watching him eat prior to the ball game. It's a real thrill.
Keep your arms and legs away from his mouth. This one is sliced foul behind the Red Sox dugout. You know, you've reached spring training when you pull up to Fort Myers, and there's Bob Tomaselli, who's already arrived down there. You realize that spring training is now here. I'll see you in Fort Myers, my friend. And that's just around the corner, Jerry. Very soon. You too. This is away, and it's 1-2. Have you booked your estate yet in Fort Myers or Naples for next season?
No. There's still a lot of stuff that's going to happen here yet, Don.
You're absolutely correct.
Thinking about that.
You never know. Sly Stallone or somebody else may have your estate. This is away, and it's 2-2.
Of course, we can't forget to thank Adam Jupiter, who has been here in the booth with us all season long.
How could we forget?
One of the great baseball minds that I've ever run into.
2-2 down the right field line. This will bend back into the seats.
And we certainly hope that if not tonight, sometime before the end of postseason, we will see Adams' brilliant piece in the postgame show. But the knowledge that young man has and that coconut of his is unbelievable.
He's a genius. And I do also echo those sentiments that we hope we do get the chance to have the sit-down air. We both viewed most of it. It's incredible what he knows. Chopped outside at third and foul. There's Ted Carey, one of our tape guys. This is Spunky. Does an outstanding job for us. There's Tom Cruise. Not the Tom Cruise you're used to, but another Tom Cruise. And Chris Akinak. A chance to first work with that Tom Cruise in Springfield doing Springfield Indians games.
And Spunky's got so big that he only goes by one name, you know.
Like Sting.
Cher, Sting, Spunky.
Spunky. Look at the runners in. This is fouled off by Fordyce. Kevin Carlson on Elvis, which I still don't know what an Elvis is. You know what an Elvis is, Jerry, all your years of TV?
I think I do, yeah.
What does an Elvis do?
It's right there. See this thing?
Yeah, but what does that do?
I don't know.
Thanks. Getting to the bottom of that for me because I was really confused. The runners, and it's ball 4 to Brooke Fordyce. This will load up the bases with one down. The fourth walk of the night given up by Derek Lowe.
It's unusual. The 4 walks for Derek Lowe. Back-to-back walks in the second inning. One in the third, and now one in the fifth to load the bases. I think the Elvis is when, like, if they show a pitch sequence, you know, rapid fire. I think the Elvis has something to do with that.
Huh.
And that is correct. That is
that's what it does. Bases loaded, one down. You know, we really haven't seen some of the stars of the truck yet. I'm sure they're going to hide, but the Tiverton Cowboy is still in there somewhere. Art Collins, Dave Walzer, Mike Marini. These are the video guys. On the ground to first base, Millar to second. A little bit of a wild throw. Nomar corrals it. But in from third base comes Luis Matos, and the Orioles have scored their first run.
Well, a couple of base hits, a walk, and then the ground ball to Millar to get the first run of the night for the Orioles. No chance for Nomar to turn over the double play, even though the ball was hit pretty hard to Millar. But the Red Sox, with their lead, will certainly take the one out in that situation.
There's Jerry Hairston, grounded out to shortstop in the first, and a second in the third. In the third inning, he grounded into a double play.
Plus, we can't forget about the goddess of high heat.
Oh. Have you received any more letters?
Yes.
You have?
I've been keeping them from her, too.
At this point, I think it's gotten a little scary. One letter was good, two was amusing. Now we're into stalking. Roll it away, and it's 1-1. There's the goddess of high heat. And a great job with the gun all season long. North first takes off. The pitch will miss. We'll throw down to second base. Roberts in the second. Defensive indifference. Greg Petranzio and Paul Carroll.
Paul doesn't even know where the camera is.
Up the middle, Garcia Parr around seconds. Got it, throws on to first. Retire the side. The Orioles have their first run of the night. Halfway through this one, Red Sox on top 12-1. As we head here to the top half of the 6th inning, David McCarty takes over in left field for the Red Sox. Adrian Brown in center. Damian Jackson moving from second to shortstop. And Lou Merloni in at second base. So out of the game, Manny Ramirez, Johnny Damon, Nomar Garciaparra. With the Red Sox on top 12-1. As Larry Bigby stands in on the left side, ahead 2-0. Next pitch from Derek Lowe will be the 80th of his outing tonight.
Now, at this point, we're not exactly sure where those guys are hitting, but I would imagine it's probably straight up.
This one back up the middle. Damian Jackson bobbles it, throws wildly, and this will get into the Red Sox dugout. Didn't look like he had much of a chance once he had corralled it, but elects to fire it anyway and ends up in the Red Sox dugout, and Bigby will end up at second base.
Larry Bigby with good speed down the line. At that point right there, Jackson has very little chance to get him. He rushes the throw, and that's going to allow Bigby to get into second base. A double error, I believe, on Damian Jackson.
That is correct. So Larry Bigby at second. Here's Jake Gibbons. 0 for 2. Gibbons has grounded out to the shortstop, flied out to center field. In there for a strike, and Gibbons quickly down 0-2. Well, Derek Lowe looking for his 17th win of the year. He's pitched very well here tonight. He's given up only 1 run on 2 hits. His last win was on the 15th of September against Tampa Bay. Just getting the loss last time out after cruising right along, and the Cleveland Indians getting to him. Relief in the Boston pen up, Todd Jones. Gets away, and the count now 1-2. Derek Lowe has walked 4 tonight. He has struck out 1. And the Orioles getting their first run last inning. Down and in that time, and it evens up at 2-2. Red Sox scoring early and often in this game tonight. 2 runs in the first, 5 in the second, 2 in the third, 3 in the 4th inning. And for the first time tonight, they were held without a run in an inning in the 5th. Taking some of the drama out of tonight for Grady Little. The reverse of what really took place here last night. The Orioles jumped on John Burkett for 7 runs in the first. Full count now to Jake Gibbons. Well, next time we see the Orioles, they may be a little bit more improved next season with some of the additions they plan to make during the offseason. This one to Damian Jackson, who backed up on it. Throws on to first base to get Gibbons. On to third goes Bigby. Well, I'd like to welcome tonight's visitors to the Dunkin' Dugout. Dunkin' Donuts is proud to host area youth and charity organizations at every Red Sox home game. I'd also like to thank Dunkin' Donuts for providing our broadcast crew with refreshments. Dunkin' Donuts, just the thing. Oh, it's packed out there tonight, Jerry.
Yeah, full dugout tonight.
That is some nice moss.
Yeah, that's a good-looking whatever it is. Is that maybe it's a system? It's the youngest kid to have a system.
Batista taking ball 2-0. Well, this is the gentleman who handles our audio every night. He can control his own audio also. Pete Grenier of Maine, an outstanding gentleman who does an amazing job. You never hear him complain. To center field, as he turns me off, to center field, Adrian Brown back to make the catch. And tagging up from third and scoring is Larry Bigby with the second Orioles run. Some of the audio guys around the league can get a little testy. You know, you ask maybe twice to have something done, and then...
No, you can't really blame him, because you got to admit that at times we can be really a pain in the neck with the audio, you know, and we're very lucky to have Pete at home who, you know, things just kind of brush off his shoulder, you know. Right. But around the league, they see these two clowns come in from the other town. They don't want to hear about our audio problems. They say take it, and that's it.
That's it. The gentleman who works in Kansas City, I will leave him nameless, who last year said that I was worse than Elton John when it came to audio and complaining.
You should have seen what he said about you the day you went there.
I'm sure. But see, that is part of the problem. Our audio at home is so good every night that when you go out other places, it's not as good. That's where the problems start. So our thanks to Pete Grenier, who's done another great job this season and every season. This one is grounded by the mound. Jackson spins and fires to first. Dug out nicely by Millar. Nifty acrobatic play turned in by Damian Jackson. The Orioles get a run. It's 12-2 Boston. Welcome back to Fenway Park as we head to the last half of the seventh inning with the Red Sox on top 12-2. And the Orioles have some multiple changes we will get to in a little bit. As the Red Sox here out hitting the Orioles 14-2 on top 12-2. Carlos Mendez is taking over first base for the Orioles. Robert Machado now in behind the plate for the Orioles. And Tim Raines Jr. out in center field. As we head to the bottom half of the seventh inning, the principal owner of the Boston Red Sox, John Henry, is joining us. And I know I don't want to jinx anything here in the bottom of the seventh inning up 12-2, but I think congratulations are in order.
Thank you. I'm not superstitious, so I'll take any congratulations I can get. I really wanted to just to stop by and say thank you to all of you guys, the talent, the truck, everybody involved with the production this year. The games, the broadcasts have been magnificent. The games have been great, and you guys have really added to the experience. Really, I've learned a lot from you over these last 2 years. One thing I've learned is I've never heard of an analyst having a fan club all across the United States, a baseball analyst, but you've accomplished that, and it's a tribute to what a great analyst you are. But these broadcasts have been just superb. And now in high definition, I have one of those televisions. Unbelievable.
Well, John, that's awful nice of you to do that. And I know between innings, you were talking to all the guys in the trucks, the guys that are here and spend the long hours, and certainly they appreciate that. And it's something that's not done very often, but we certainly appreciate those kind words.
Well, people don't realize what goes on behind the scenes, how much it takes to put on a broadcast like this. And I forgot to thank the cameraman. Yep. I don't know where he is.
All throughout. Well, last night we were talking to Tom Werner also, and I think I echo the same sentiments as Jerry. The great job you guys have done this season, and since you've taken over, and I mentioned last night, it seems as a group you guys didn't just come in and make action. You listened first and then made some decisions and some changes.
Yeah, you can make a fool of yourself if you don't think and listen before you act.
Line into left field for Adrian Brown, and the Red Sox have the first two on here in the seventh inning.
These guys are really spoiling an early party, aren't they?
Yeah, it's going to be a good one, though. You know,
it is.
It has been a fun season, and obviously doing the games have been a lot of fun. As an owner, it has to be a pure joy for you. You come over in your second year, coming from Florida, being involved in this environment. You know how passionate the fans are here, and tonight, when they finally do get into the playoffs, it's going to be some ride for the next month.
Yeah, we've got something planned for them tonight, too, so it's not going to be just the clubhouse celebrating. So. Thank God we did it tonight. It would have I just would not have wanted to do this in Tampa.
Well, it only seems fitting that it will happen at Fenway Park, where the Red Sox have played great baseball all season long, where have supported the Red Sox the way they have with the record attendance, and it's a team, in my opinion, the first in a long time that likes to play at Fenway Park. There have been a lot of teams and individuals that don't particularly care for it. This team likes it.
In the right center field, another hit for Bill Miller. Around comes Jackson, and the Red Sox will add to their total on top 13-2, and another base hit for Bill Miller.
Yeah, boy, he's closing in on that title, perhaps. Love to see one of either Manny or Bill win that.
Well, Bill Miller's, that story would be incredible, because not too many people in the American League even knew about Bill Miller before the season started.
Yeah, he had a hard time getting playing time along with David Ortiz early in the season, but we made a trade that really opened the door, and it worked out.
3 hits tonight for Bill Miller, gets a batting average up to .328 as Lou Merloni stands in with 2 on, nobody out, a run already in.
How about those fans? We were down 5-2, 2 outs in the 9th. This place was jammed when Todd hit that home run. These fans are unbelievable.
There have been a lot of amazing games this season, but for me, that one certainly stands out because of the timing and where you were in the course of the season as well.
The other thing, too, is they learned very early in the season not to leave games at Fenway Park, because this was a team, that fell behind a number of times but was able to come back. And you'd make a major mistake when you leave early.
I was talking to Nomar after that game, and he just looked at, when I said something about it, he just looked up at me and said, with a smile, really a twinkle in his eye, and said, "These fans know this team.
Oh, yeah.
They know this team."
Count is 1-1 to Merloni with 2 on, nobody out. Red Sox on top 13-2. We're visiting with John Henry. And John, we've talked many times about the acquisitions this team made before the season, and a lot of the numbers were discussed, but Theo and yourself and others have brought in great people as well, good character players. Made a big difference, it appears, in the clubhouse.
Our traveling secretary, Jack McCormick, was saying that he's never been in a clubhouse on the road where he has to make a reservation for 19. These guys, they spend time together. There aren't any cliques. They really enjoy each other's company. It's not they don't see each other enough, but even when they're not on the field, they are very close, very together. It's a great thing to be a part of.
And there'll be more to come, as it appears the Red Sox will be headed to the postseason for the first time since 1999.
So how do you like our chances, Jerry? You're the analyst. We have Pedro maybe going twice if he has to.
Well, I've been saying this for a long time. I knew a month and a half ago, or I felt strongly a month and a half ago, that the Red Sox were going to be in the playoffs, because there's been no team in my mind that we've watched. That includes the interleague games we've played, but especially the American League. And I think, Don, you would agree with me. No team stands out as so far above everybody else that you could say, well, this is a clear-cut favorite. I don't think there's one.
And if you talk to other managers, as we do, you hear oftentimes this is the team that they're most afraid of.
Yeah, nobody wants to play Boston because of the offense they have right now. And then, of course, you got Pedro leading the way. I mean, it's going to be interesting, John. You got the, very great pitching out there in Oakland. They have a very good bullpen. Yeah. Certainly not the offense that we have on the Red Sox team. Defense is about the same. Well, if it gets the hot hand early, that's what's going to be. And then the Yankees don't scare the Red Sox. We've seen them, 19 times. Played them about even. They don't look like the same. And I'm not trying to knock down the New York Yankees. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. But they're not the same team that we've watched for 4 or 5 consecutive years. So it's going to be very interesting offseason. I think it's a toss of a coin. And whoever gets the hot hand, I think has got a chance to go a long, long way in this thing.
Well, we're not allowing any fretting in New England this postseason.
No.
There'll be no fretting. When we get behind a run, get behind a game, we're not going to fret. We're going to enjoy this postseason, have fun, enjoy every minute of it, and expect to win.
Well, this has to be incredibly satisfying for you as well. And the ownership group coming in and now going to the postseason for, it appears, the first time here with the Red Sox.
It's I keep using that word all year long. It's been magical. It is magical, and you sense this magic in this clubhouse and on the field, and with the fans. The fans are magical here. It's a oh, and you know, we had to. The mayor today managed to get the Citgo sign turned on for luck. I don't know if you noticed, but it went dark
That's right,
at one point. So he had to call it Oklahoma City, and he got them, and it'll be on through the playoffs as well. So I don't know why they shut it off, but you know, I guess maybe they're having some financial problems. I know their NASCAR, their number 99 NASCAR, the Citgo car, they're no longer doing that. So, so anyway, we've got it on thanks to Mayor Menino.
Well, it's worked well tonight. The Red Sox banging out 13 runs and 17 hits so far here tonight. As Dave McCarty has just struck out. Here is Bill Hasselman batting with 2 outs and 2 on. And he will ground it right side. Over there to get it is Mendez, the pitcher covering. That will do the inning. The Red Sox add a run and lead it 13-2. John Henry, congratulations.
Congratulations to all of you and these broadcasts. It's been great. And the high def is awesome. Good night and thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming up. Back at Fenway, 13-2. Red Sox have the lead. Well, stay tuned after the game for extra interviews, extra highlights, and extra analysis on W.B. Mason's Extra Innings. And if the Sox make the playoffs, tune back to New England's postgame show on NESN for our special postseason edition. I'm pleased to be joining the post-game crew. Do some after-game analyzing on NESN throughout the playoffs.
Now we head to the top half of the 8th inning with the Red Sox on top now 13-2. And the Red Sox have Scott Sauer back into the game.
25th appearance for the Red Sox. His last coming Tuesday against the Orioles. Worked an inning in that game. 1 hit, had 1 walk and 1 strikeout. Don, I'm a little bit confused. Who's in the game?
Well, we have...
just give me the Oriole defense and I'll be all set. I think.
You want the Orioles defense?
Yeah.
Okay, we got Bigby in left, Raines in center, Gibbons in right.
All right.
The only change in the infield is someone named Mendez, who's now at first base.
Okay.
I don't know his first name.
And Machado's catching, right?
And Machado is catching. Robert Machado.
All right. Let's move on.
Do you want to know the Red Sox changes
No,
as well? Because those are multiple.
I think I've got all those
as well. Okay.
This is a classic scorecard, you know.
It is a classic scorecard. How many classics have we had this season?
Just about 3. 3 or 4.
So you're keeping them truly classics.
And I'll be keeping them right through the playoffs, too.
And I'm sure there'll be some more classics there as well.
Scorecard's a mess.
I'm told that Mr. Mendez's first name is Carlos. It's not on the roster for some reason. He's Carlos Mendez. But this is Brian Roberts, who's 0 for 3 tonight from the top spot in the Orioles order. Got a 3-1. And there's ball 4. Sauerbeck walks the first hitter that he faces here in the 8th. Let's check in with Tom Caron. Tom?
Something different tonight. Our Citizens Bank, not your typical fans. The 2.7 million fans, more than that have come to Fenway this year, and especially the fans up here on the Green Monster. But a great season out here in the stands. They are certainly not your typical fans. Guys, back to you.
All right, Tom. Nice job. I hope he's okay out there. I don't know if we need to send somebody out there to help him out.
He's like a rock star. Everywhere he goes, people just surround him.
That was the loudest, not your typical fan I think we've had of the season.
See that lovely sweatshirt that the lady had on right next to TC?
No, I missed it, but I'm going to go ahead and guess that it said Rem Dog.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. It was a beautiful sweatshirt. Great for postseason play.
This is Jose Morban, who is batting in the spot of Jerry Hairston. The runner at first and nobody out. While the scorecard may be a classic, it's going to be a mess.
Yeah, it's going to be a classic mess.
Then did you make a classic the other night? The come from behind victory?
No.
Tie it up? Yeah, it wasn't a classic.
You can't overdo it, you know.
first goal. Strike 3 call. No throw down to second base. And Morban is out number 1.
Well, it sounds like ownership has something planned for the fans after the game on the field.
And we will cover it as the festivities take place here tonight. 34,526 on hand here tonight. A season average this year for the Red Sox of 33,632. And the final total, 2,724,162. And you're right. When they bought tickets, I guess you take a chance when you're buying tickets for that last homestand of the season that it may already be over for your team, but you also have the opportunity for them to clinch on a night that you have tickets, which is very exciting for these fans who are here tonight. And the Red Sox on top 13-2.
Well, there are happy moments, and certainly tonight will be one for both the team itself, the players involved from day one, who will reach their #1 goal, their first goal, and that is to get into postseason play. For the fans, their excitement level to have a team in postseason play is tremendous. It's great for the area. And then we start the whole new season, and it's you know, it's going to be very interesting, as we've talked about many times. And players go to spring training, their goal is to win a World Series. Well, Red Sox are going to reach that first step by getting into the playoffs, and a whole new chapter begins.
Out of the reach of Merloni into center field. Brian Roberts coming around to score, and he will on Pedro Swan's single into center field. The Orioles come up with their 3rd run of the night, and it's now 13-3.
Who just hit that, Doug?
That was Pedro Swan.
Okay.
Try to follow along.
I've been trying, but you know, I'm not in spring training shape. Were you looking for those changes?
This is Jay Gibbons. Jay Gibbons started the game in right field. Tonight he's 0 for 3. He's grounded out twice to shortstop, flied out to center field. Popped up, foul, back, and to our left. To Gibbons, and he takes strike 3. Second strikeout for Scott Sauerbeck since he has come into the game, and there's 2 down. And this will bring up Tony Batista.
Number 10, Tony Batista.
Pedro Swan at first. 2 outs, a run in here for the Orioles in the top of the 8th. And here's Tony Batista, 0 for 3 tonight. He's grounded out, fouled out, flied out. Batista with men on base only hitting at .246 this season. He does have plenty of RBIs, 98 of them on the season coming in. And 26 home runs. 2-0, crank foul down the left field line, and it's 2-1. To be an incredibly satisfying feeling for these members of the Red Sox. This one is fouled off, and it evens up at 2-2. A certain feeling that really they've had all season long, but coming right down here to the last week and last few games to get in. A 2-2. Well, missed away, and it's a full count now. Sauerbeck, the third pitcher of the night for the Red Sox, Derek Lowe. At the first 6 innings, and Sauerbeck to be charged with his second walk as Batista makes his way down to first.
Now, this copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Boston Red Sox may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. In addition, the accounts and description of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Boston Red Sox.
Here's Carlos Mendez. Took over for B.J. Surhoff defensively last inning. Hitting at .231 this season. Surhoff had been 0 for 2 with a walk. This one fouled back to the backstop, and it's 0-2. Well, the Red Sox waiting in the dugout, as you might imagine, for the end of this game. Many of them out of the game now. Nomar checking out where he was drilled earlier in the rib cage, which he has battled his way through. Imagine there's still some stitching from the baseball there for Nomar Garciaparra. A 3-run home run tonight as part of the 13-run attack for the Red Sox. Millar with a home run of his own tonight. This one is chopped foul outside of third. Foul into the Orioles dugout on the third base side, still 1-2. I mentioned it when John Henry was here, Jerry, but listening to a lot of managers around the major leagues, those who are headed to the postseason, the team that you hear them talk about the most often is the Red Sox and how improved they are this season. We heard it from Joe Torre numerous times during the regular season.
That's a different team, Don. You know, there's so much more balance offensively, obviously, on this club than there has been.
Strikeout for Sauerbeck. He strikes out the side, and the Orioles mix in a run. 13-3, Red Sox on top. Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy back at Fenway Park as we get ready for the last half of the 8th inning. Let's check out the game summary in this one. The Red Sox with 13 runs and 17 hits. Derek Lowe, 6 innings, giving up 2 runs, 1 earned. On just 2 hits, he walked 4 and struck out 1. Garciaparra and Millar each with 3-run home runs. Bill Miller with 3 hits tonight. He's up to .328. Manny Ramirez had 2 hits before he left, hitting at .324 now as the batting race heats up. The Red Sox with 3 games left after tonight. And the Red Sox on top 13-3 as we head to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Andy Abad leads it off. Hit Ainsworth, the pitcher for the Orioles, into the game. Came over as part of the deal for Sidney Ponson, coming over from the San Francisco Giants as Abad, as the count even up at 1-1. Kurt Ainsworth. Andy Abad collected his first major league hit on September 17th. A single off Tampa Bay's Victor Zambrano in the 4th inning. Started 2 straight games at first base for the Red Sox on the 16th and 17th of September. Spending the entire season as a member of the Pawtucket Red Sox. And prior to this year, he played in only 1 major league game, September 10th of 2001 with the A's. Swing and a miss, and a full count. Imagine Andy Abad, among others, will have a chance to play this weekend in Tampa Bay.
You might have a chance to play this weekend in Tampa Bay.
Gonna ask Grady about that. Ball 4 to Andy Abad.
Well, now it's time for the Sam Adams good decision of the game, and we'll take a look at ownership. Tom Warner, John Henry, and of course Theo, who have made the decisions this season to get the Red Sox in to postseason play. Sam Adams, when you're ready for a distinctive brew, always a good decision.
Here's Doug Mirabelli with Abad at first base. Mirabelli swings and misses at the first pitch. This is fouled off the right side. Red Sox have right-handed action in their bullpen. As last inning we saw Scott Sauerbeck. Red Sox have used 3 pitchers tonight. As Ramiro Mendoza is up in the Red Sox pen. In the dirt, kicks off the catcher Mikado. Wow. Carlos Delgado hit 4 home runs tonight, Jerry. Now has 41 on the season. But 1 in the first, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the sixth, 1 in the 8th. Part of a Toronto 10-8 lead over Tampa Bay in the bottom of the 8th inning.
And that's going to lift his runs batted in total to at least 139.
I guess he would have to get some consideration as far as MVP goes as well. Larry Lucchino next to Tom Warner down in the boxes right by the Red Sox dugout, poised and ready. Right now they're being interviewed down there by one of our favorite gentlemen, who tonight has worn a peach shirt. Decided to go away from the Bavacos tonight. 3-2, line to left. This is going to grab some wall, kicks off the scoreboard. Swan will throw into second base. Mirabelli sliding into second base with a double. Red Sox have 2 in scoring position. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th.
Now the Foxwoods chance play of the game is going to be Nomar's home run back in the 7th inning. A 3-run home run for Garcia Parra. 4 runs batted into the night. The Foxwoods chance play of the game.
Omar has been out of the game since the 6th inning, as many of his teammates have been. Mark Wiley, the pitching coach for the Orioles, out there to talk to Kurt Ainsworth. The Orioles do have action in their bullpen. A left-hander is up. Ainsworth coming on here for the 8th. There's Buddy Groom. I don't know if Mark Wiley was entirely done with his conversation, but Kurt Ainsworth appeared to be. Eric Lowe, marvelous performance tonight, did not give up his first hit until there was 1 out in the 5th inning. As he went 6 innings, giving up 2 hits, 2 runs. He walked 4, struck out 1, in line to pick up his 17th win of the year. Kapler swings and misses. Gabe with 2 hits in the game tonight, a double in the 2nd inning, a single in the 3rd. And Bill Miller with a fine evening with 3 hits tonight. Must be extremely satisfying for Grady Little as well after the 93 wins last year. A lot of seasons good enough to get you into postseason.
those interesting comments he's made over the last couple of weeks. And, you know, much has been made about the 93 wins a year ago. And he said, you know, that's a lot of wins. He said, but for some reason it felt like a losing season because we didn't go to postseason play. Well, different story this year.
Adler fouls it off down by his shoe tops. On deck for the Red Sox, Damian Jackson.
Good Troopy down there now. He's got everybody.
True. He sort of anchored that spot down there. The 1-2. Sent down the right field line towards the corner and the pole, and it'll make its way foul. He's boxed everybody out down there. He has the owners on his left, and to his right he has the dugout. So nobody's getting to the dugout, nobody's getting to the owners because he has taken up that spot. Very nicely done by Troopy. 1-2. Missing away, and it's 2-2. Think he has a big enough microphone to conduct that interview?
That's a lot. Look at the size of that thing. Is he really doing the game from there? Or?
No. I think Joe's on right now. The 2-2 is strike 3. And there's the first out here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Oh, Joe's doing the game from up here.
Yeah, Joe's got it under control here.
So what's Troopy doing with the microphone?
He's pretending to do interviews.
Number 2, Damian Jackson.
There's Joe handling things by himself quite ably. I think he's in communication, though, with Troop, because Troop's talking to somebody in that oversized microphone on steroids.
Well, now they're going to watch the TV. See, Troopy
wants to see himself.
That's John Henry's TV down there. Now he wants to see himself on TV. They're trying to unlock that thing. There's a big lock and key on it.
You have to check with John to get it.
Yeah, look. See, look, here we go. Here we go. Now Troopy can watch himself.
Now, wait a minute. Is that illegal to have a television? People going to get upset that there's a television there?
Where's he going?
Well, he's been bumped. I think Tom Warner bumped him. Oh, no. No, he's talking to Marimanino now. The 1-1 down and away to Damian Jackson. Leadoff walk to begin the inning, then a double. Runners at second and third for the Red Sox. 1 out. Damian Jackson, the hitter. On the ground, left side. Brian Roberts can't play it. And in from third base comes Andy Abad with the 14th Red Sox run. The Red Sox lead it 14-3.
You kind of have the feeling like both teams would like this one over very soon. Mike Hargrove out of the dugout to make the pitching change.
So Kurt Ainsworth able to get just 1 out here in the bottom half of the 8th inning before the end of his outing. It's been a long, frustrating season for Mike Hargrove, and he will change pitchers here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Half of the 9th inning back at Fenway Park. The Red Sox on top 14-3, out hitting the Orioles in tonight's game 18-3. And the new pitcher for the Red Sox, Ramiro Mendoza.
Last time Mendoza worked was back on September 9th. It was against the Orioles at Baltimore. An inning in that game did have a strikeout.
After Lowe tonight, the Red Sox have used Todd Jones, Scott Sauerbeck, and now Ramiro Mendoza.
Now pitching
Cust and Machado expected here in the ninth. 3 outs to go. On the ground and to his left off his glove. Damian Jackson knocks it down. Ends up in shallow center field. And Raines aboard as he gets a hit here in the ninth. Now Jack Cust, the DH. He singled in the fifth, 1 for 3 tonight. Strike one. All 34,526 will stay standing for the inning. On the ground to first base, Abad will go to second for one. Relay to first is wild and thrown into the Red Sox dugout. They will award second base to Jack Cust. They do get Raines. And Cust will end up at second base.
That almost got Troopy down there.
Yeah, it did. Very close. Red Sox poised and ready in the dugout with 1 down. Robert Machado, who came into the game last inning batting with a runner at second base and 1 down. Red Sox will get some action in their bullpen as a right-hander begins to warm. Up and away, and it's 2-0. Chop to third base. Miller's got it on the backhand. Throw across is in time, and there's 2 down. 1 out to go. Strike one to Brian Roberts. Strike two to Brian Roberts. Down 0-2 with 2 down in the ninth. Away that time, and it's 1-2. Hopefully tonight we will enjoy the first of many celebrations. It begins here tonight, and hopefully a few more in this postseason for this edition of the Boston Red Sox. Strike 3 call. Yet another chapter in the story of the 2003 Red Sox as they clinch the American League wild card. And it's on to the postseason for the first time since '99.